Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now today, I want to say happy December 1st. How on earth is it the 1st of December? It is obviously entering festive month, and we are going to be talking all about ARK Winter Wonderland. We're going to be taking a trip also down memory lane for any of those players that have been playing Winter Wonderland ever since the start. I mean, to think this is the 10th year of Winter Wonderland is just absolutely crazy. We're going to be checking out some awesome stuff, and I'm really looking forward to Winter Wonderland. We probably will be getting it at the same time as Lost Colony this year. I know there's been some people that have been a bit sort of not sure whether they wanted that. I've been reading a lot of stuff, but you guys can let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Drop a like and let's get in with the video. So ARK Winter Wonderland, as you know, it is a Christmas event for the game, and it's been going on ever since December 22nd, 2015. It usually lasts for 2 whole weeks, and we get a whole bunch of new stuff. It started very basic, obviously back in 2015. We had like things just like the holiday tree, the gift box, the stockings, Santa hat skins, wreaths that you could put on your door. It was very, very basic, but we'll watch the first ever trailer, then we'll talk about what we're going to be expecting for the 2025 event. So let's jump into this and let's take a trip 10 years in the past. But yeah, I absolutely love that first trailer. It brings back so many memories because this was one of my first ever, if not, it might have been my first ever event on ARK, because it was when the I think this one, I can't remember whether this one came to the Xbox or not, because I know ARK Survival Evolved, imagine Ascended, launched in 2015. ARK Survival Evolved launched on the game preview, if I'm correct, December 2015. And when I watch back that old trailer, it just reminds me of when the game was just like at its most basic time. You know, when we were on the island, that was the only map we had, and they did this Christmas event. And even watching the old trailer, you think how far things come in 10 years. It's absolutely unreal. Just even watching the devs, like when they're flying around, probably in like some sort of commands they had that even back then we didn't have. If I'm correct, I don't think we had admin commands back then, so only the devs would be flying around with their cameras recording the trailers, and then it would even be lagging. It'd be getting frame rate in the trailer, but still it was just such an OG trailer. But anyway, so one of the main things people want to know is what's going to be happening this year. Now, we can actually see a little bit of a chart of how all the events happened throughout ARK Survival Ascended, ARK Survival Evolved, or the whole ARK franchise. And normally, as you can see, the Christmas event has had a mixture of releases. The first two were sort of launched around the same time of December 22nd, December 23rd, 23rd again. This was a holiday event, and this was one of the years, by the way, this was such a depressing year for events. This was the year that Aberration came out, and we had no Fear Evolved, and we had no Winter Wonderland. They were just like small, very, I mean, look, we had Excellent Adventure and Valentine's Day, and the rest of it was just The Witch's Curse, which was the worst ever event of all time, and then a holiday event, which was like a small version of it. So as we move into 2018, as you can see, this was the year we had finally had a lot of the events back, and Winter Wonderland 3 happened, and it was on December 18th, so it was a little bit earlier. And then we had December 18th again for Winter Wonderland 4. Then we had December 17th. 2021 we had December 14th. That one lasted for a whole long time. This was the last kind of year for ARK when we had Genesis Part 2. And then here, as you can see, Winter Wonderland 7, this is when just after like Fjordur, this was a big year when that launched, and that launched from the 14th of December all the way until the 5th of January. So there was a lot of early ones as time went on. We then had our first ARK Survival Ascended one, which launched on the 21st of December, and then last year it was the 23rd. Now, this year, we're most likely looking like we're going to be having the Winter Wonderland event on the 16th of December. The earliest one they've ever done before is the 14th, as we just read, and that is because I am guessing they will launch this alongside Fear Ascended. From what we remember, they did that last year with the Extinction event. They wanted to line up Winter Wonderland and the DLC. They've done this so many times with December launches, just so they can ensure that you know, they want to be able to ensure that they do 2 big patches at once. But I do understand it always gets a little bit worrying when they do big launches so close to their little holiday break. But anyway, what can you expect? So I am personally expecting a copy and paste of Winter Wonderland 2024 this year. The only reason I say that is obviously Turkey Trial was a complete copy and paste. It would be very, very nice to see something new. But the reason I say that is just because they're obviously seriously busy with Lost Colony. Of course, we have Raptor Claws sailing across the star-filled night sky, dropping off high-end loot, as well as mistletoe and coal that you can trade for various skins and creatures, and items on new chibi pets. It was ×2 last year because obviously, as you will know, Wildcard have, just due to server performance, they've told us there will be no more, or just seriously rare, that there'll be an actual ×3 again. They did it at the start of the game, and then they just said they didn't really do an announcement, I don't think, on why they like in a crunch of why they're stopping doing it. They kind of just mentioned it to us in some posts. I think Dolly just mentioned it strains way too hard on their servers and causes huge server performance problems. But we have actual black, cyan, deep pink, dino dark purple, mint, lavender, dino light purple, dino light blue, dragon green 0, jade, pine green, spruce green, dark magenta, glacial, powder blue, teal, dark violet, red green, light grey, light red, dark red, dino light green, dino medium green, dino albino, near white, and yellow. Of course, as we mentioned, we have Raptor Claws and Gacha Claws, which obviously you can exchange for items. We have the return of all the old from 2015. We have the returning chibi pets of Raptor Claws and the Hyena Deer. Many more new ones, which I'm hoping this year we'll get some new ones. I don't know whether they're going to do a copy and paste. All of the skins, you know, the Santa costume skin. There's a snowman one, isn't there, as well, if I'm correct? But they need to basically... I would love to see a brand new costume skin this year. I know they're not really doing them because they're seriously busy. They had the Krampus one, which was in 2023, so that will be returning too. Obviously, it'd be nice to see a new emote. We had the Happy Clap, the Nutcracker Dance, the Shiver emote, the Snow Angel, the Jolly Jump, and the Caroling emote. Would be really, really awesome to see a bunch of new ones there. But anyway, you know, this year has been a very successful year of ARK events. We had Love Ascended back in February. We had Excellent Adventure in April, which launched on my birthday. I remember that. We had the anniversary event, which was for 10 years to celebrate 10 years of ARK in summer. Then just after that, we had the Summer Bash. And then we had that long period between, which was Fear Ascended 2025. We've just had a copy and paste version of Turkey Trial, and now Studio Wildcard are on the road to a Winter Wonderland release, which would be a hugely successful. That's a full year of events, right? I don't think they'll if they do Winter Wonderland. I mean, obviously, they are doing it. They've already said in news, they've said, like, on Discord, you know, that Winter Wonderland is happening. But it's just interesting to see, are they going to do some tweaks with it this year or keep it the same? I mean, this is definitely one of the most popular and exciting events of all time when it comes to ARK. Everyone will always tell you, if you're a new ARK player, the best events will be either Fear Ascended for you or Winter Wonderland. And when we actually look at the page of all of ARK events over time, you truly do see how many awesome ones we've had over the years and how many there's actually been. You know, Fear Evolved, Turkey Trial, Winter Wonderland. We have not had, if I'm correct, a Happy New Year event for the game. We had it on, I think this was the last year of, this was the last year of Evolved having a Happy New Year event on January 1st, 2023. And since then, we've actually not had one. I did get someone comment on my video the other day saying, hey Dom, can you find out any information from Wildcard if they're doing a Happy New Year event? And I'm not sure, because you know that I mentioned they go on that 2-week holiday. I don't know whether they've got anyone around anymore to do this Happy New Year event. So it would be cool if they decide to do it again. I kind of feel like it was more of just a survival evolve thing. Maybe in the future they'll start doing it again. Who knows? Obviously that's a nice thing at the end of the year. Then we have Love Evolved, Excellent Adventures. We had ARK Dependence Day. We had Survival Devolved. These were like some other well, the Survival Devolved one I think was a prank one if I'm correct. We had obviously the awesome anniversaries, the Extinction and Genesis Chronicles were amazing. Do you guys remember that with the tech skins? Absolutely loved that. Of course, all the summer bashes that happened, the extra lives. The archaeology was such a random event that never happened again. And then the survival of the fittest tournament. So yeah, really looking forward to this year's Winter Wonderland, coming with Lost Colony most likely on December 16th. Let me know, guys, what you are looking forward to most with this, and will we see another new costume skin or some new chibis and some new emotes? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.